this is for women, daughters, mothers, stylists, people who are interested in knowing about hair loss, hair replacement. I have an agenda inside your folder. Pull this out because I'm going to run through this real quick. But I'm really informal, very personable, so if I touch you, don't be alarmed. I'm touchy-feely. I will have two guests today that's going to speak briefly and give you as much information as possible. Here's what I know. You guys are going to have a lot of questions. I'm not going to be able to answer them all today, but I'm going to try to get to as many as we can. I wanted to keep it very informal. So any questions you have, any things you have after every segment, we'll give you a chance to talk about it. The dermatologist that's coming, she's going to speak on serious disorders of the scalp, maladies of the scalp, loss, thinning, a variety of reasons as to why it causes that. And I have a nutritionist here today named Charles. Say hi, Charles. He has samples for you guys. He's going to talk about supplements, stuff that can help you get on the path to healthy hair. I was waiting and giving people a chance to come, but I didn't get a chance to talk about the beauty salon horror stories. I always like to do my icebreaker with that. So I'm going to give one person a chance to stand up and tell me the worst experience they've had with hair weaves, hair loss, at the shop. Just give me one good one. Who's got a good one for me? Okay.
I have a great one.
Stand up, say your name.
Deshauna Barnes. And I was trying to go natural like several years ago, like 10 years ago, and I wanted a new hairstyle. I had an interview, and so I was going to go and get like a texturizer on my hair. And the lady who normally did my hair is not in town. So long story short, she said, hey, go to this person. And I went to that person and got in, and she had to go pick up her kid. So like after she put the stuff on my hair, I mean, like I don't even know, she took like maybe 2 minutes to rinse it out. And I was like, that seems weird. And I got home and my head was just itchy. My scalp was itching so badly. And I was like, I'm gonna have to wash it. And when I washed it, it came out from here all the way to here, like a complete bald spot in my head. And eventually, like when the girl got back, we did the whole washing with the protein and doing all of those things. And finally she's like, we're just gonna have to cut it off. So I had to cut it off. I mean, I didn't even have an inch of hair. And so that was like in 2002. And so I haven't had perm or anything since then, because like where where the hair came out, it's grown back, but it's not grown back very much. I mean, it has hair and stuff through there, but it's really fine and thin, and then the scalp is still kind of irritated and really red, even like after all these years and stuff.
Everybody say, "Aww." Everybody say, "Nobody got time for that." Nobody got time for that. It's time out. I made this a consumer event, even though I know I have stylists here, but I made it a consumer event because I wanted you guys to be educated. Time out for buying products that your friend said she was using and you tried, and then every few minutes you look up under your kitchen sink and you got 18 bottles of stuff that ain't working. Time out for that. Time out for saying, "Oh, girl, I had mane and tail and made my hair grow." It's for horses. Time out for that. Time out for getting perms every 4 weeks because you got a little bit of new growth. Stop that. Stop that. Because when you get older, you start to lose it. And density naturally, and predisposition thinning naturally, and so you're perming it to death, and now you wonder why it's so thin, it won't hold a curl, it won't do this. Stop that. I just do a whole blog about stop that. I should. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I try not to talk about me because I try not to, but I like you guys to know who's educating you so you can be familiar. Some have Googled me, some have not, but if you want to find out, you can Google. But I've been in the business 24 years. Celebrity stylist, I've been in Essence, Ebony, every magazine you probably can name. Technical educator for 7 product companies, Mazzani, Nexus, Wella, on the black side and the white side. Traveled and did a lot of artists, which was a lot of fun. My biggest thing that I loved doing was production. So the product companies came after me and said, we want you to launch our beauty product. We came out, Procter & Gamble, we came out this new thing called Amina, Lisa. We want you to do these shows in Dallas and across the country to let people know about it. So I would rally up other stylists, we would come together, we put together a show to introduce it to the market. I've been doing it a very long time. Not until I got clients that started losing hair and thinning that I felt the need that something needed to be better. When I got introduced to custom units, what we do at Illusions, I was on a set, photo shoot set, and I saw the ones like what Beyonce wears. And it was not what they had at the beauty supply in the hood. So I needed to figure out how I can fix it or what was going on. At the time, I had a friend who owns, and anybody that does hair in here probably knows this place, called Extensions Plus in LA. I asked her could I come out into her factory. She has a huge factory, does her own making of hair wefts, extensions, wigs. She did it for Universal. We worked on a movie set together, and I was going out for the Image Awards. She said, if you come out for my fundraiser in 3 months, I'll let you tour my factory. And I said, sure. Took a client with me, and she let me tour the factory, and I saw everything. Now, I've done everything you can probably think of in the industry, everything. But when it came time to going to understand units, wig making in the traditional sense, I was very intrigued. And she showed me everything, and I said, great, now let's get to the wig making, blocking, pattern thing. She took me upstairs to this room. She had 5 little girls in there doing a process called ventilating. And the angels were singing. It was like, oh! And I was like, Genevieve, girl, what are they doing? She said, that's traditional wig making in the form, in the sense like they do for film and TV. When you can take a lady who's blonde and make her auburn. You can make Julia Roberts go from auburn to blonde. And I said, I need to know that concept. I need to know that technique. And I told her, in less than a year, I will have a place in Dallas for women who are dealing with hair loss, suffering with hair loss, a real viable option that looks undetectable and natural. How many are happy with the products they're using at home by show of hands? Is it doing what you want it to do? By show of hands? Y'all not happy? Are happy? Yes? You found something that worked? You haven't found anything that worked? Okay. Get a pen out, because I want you to write this down. We're going to talk about product knowledge, shampoo and conditioners, reconstructing, on the shampoos, we're going to talk about the shampoos and how they work, so when you start buying them from now on, you know what to buy, what to get, and what not to get, okay? And the same thing with the conditioners and how they work. So if you are using it, or if you are doing your daughter's hair, you know exactly what to do and you make sure it works, okay? Y'all ready? So, shampoos are manufactured to do one of 2 things. Cleanse and clarify, and cleanse and moisturize. Okay? Cleanse and clarify, or cleanse and moisturize. Those are only 2 categories. Every product that's on the market, it fits in one category or fits in the other. So, who would you guys think needs to use the clarifying shampoo? Would that be us, or would that be European descent? No offense, Charles. The reason that is because at the very back of your agenda, guys, you're going to see a follicle. Turn to the very last page. The reason why that is because every follicle has a sebaceous gland, what they call a sebaceous gland. And that job of that little gland is to dump oil inside your follicle. And if it just so happens that people of European descent, theirs is very overactive. And people who are of our descent, from the motherland, is not. That's why it's been misconceived for so many years that you gotta grease your scalp. Please know that grease is for the hair, not the scalp. Okay? Unless you have a disorder of the scalp, that's the only reason why you would need to put hair grease on your scalp. But you have to treat it like a garden. You know how a garden is aerated when you plant something and it needs to grow? Same thing happens. But grease, any type of lanolin-based product, is for your hair. Okay? No more grease on the scalp unless you need to. Now, you can put it very close to the scalp, because if you got a daughter that has very thick hair at the root, you want to get to it, that's good. But the whole concept and whole idea, and I love Madam C.J. Walker and her perfumes and all of this stuff, but no, scientifically, it is not doing anything unless there is a disorder. And that oil will have to have an ingredient in it that's going to work on that dermatitis, that eczema, that psoriasis, whatever that issue might be, okay? I'm going to move real fast, so y'all stay with me, okay? So, the sebaceous gland, dumping oil, not dumping oil. For European descent, it dumps a lot. Their hair gets oily in less than a day. They have to use a shampoo that removes that from the surface of the cuticle, okay? That's a cleansing, clarifying shampoo. You look for ingredients for clarifying shampoos like acidics, extracts of this and that. So read the back of your bottles every time you're shopping. Anytime there's something that's acidic, like grapefruit, anything that can cause anything to strip off the hair strand, those are for clarifying shampoos. If you are biracial, you might need to use a clarifying shampoo first, but you have to follow with a moisturizing shampoo for your hair. Okay? The cleansing, clarifying ingredients are ingredients like jojoba, hydrolyzed milk protein, hydrolyzed silk protein, things like that. Glycerin, you'll see those at the back of your bottle. You want to use that, and you will be able to tell as soon as you rinse the hair for the condition of it. If you use a shampoo and your hair feels stripped, it's not good. Okay? You're going to think, oh, it's squeaky clean. Not for us. That's not good. Okay? It needs to feel conditioned. Water opens up the cuticle just enough to grab whatever product, ingredient is in there. When you read your label, the first 3 ingredients is the majority of what's in that product. If the first thing is alcohol, the highest content of what's in that product is alcohol. Make sense? Yes, so we want to stay away from alcohol because we're already dry, right? Now, so we need to use cleansing shampoos that are moisturizing every single time unless you are having a scalp or hair issue. The doctor, a lot of you people might have went to the doctor, will put you on a treatment shampoo, Nizoral or something for dandruff, something medicated, Neutrogena tea gels, all of those you'll use it for the scalp, but when it's time to take care of the hair, you have to use a moisturizing shampoo. Got it? Yes. I don't want to feel no more dry hair during consultation. Conditioners. And we can talk more about it if y'all have any questions. Y'all can email me about shampoos. Lisa, I tried this, I tried that. I'm natural. People say I need to use a shampoo that's natural and organic and this and that. No. No, no. Dreadlocks, I do dreads, I do natural hair. The majority of my basic clients have natural hair. The hair still has to have a certain pH level. The moisture that's required to keep it on your head is what's the most important. So don't get hung up on the product, get hung up on what the needs of the hair is. Make sense? Okay. Conditioners. You have temporary conditioners, what they call leave-ins, moisturizing conditioners, deep penetrating conditioners, and reconstructors, right? The temporary ones are the ones that you can use, and the ones I'm calling temporary, or let me call them temporary, is you can shampoo and condition your hair and use it when your hair is in condition. And the way you tell that is you get a natural sheen, a natural shine after you shampoo, condition, and blow dry without putting a bunch of oil on it yet. You will be able, because true hair that is in real condition reflects the light. You don't have to go put no Biostick on it and all of that. You will be able to see it in the mirror under your light. Okay? Now, the other thing is, so when it's in condition, you can use it, you can do it in the shower, but please know, the molecular weight of conditioner does not penetrate the cuticle unless it is opened by heat 15 minutes or more. That means somebody needs to be under the dryer. Or it's just coating on top, making you think it feels like it's in condition. Everybody got that? How long under the dryer? 15. Everybody didn't say that, so who not paying attention? How long under the dryer? 15 minutes. Otherwise, it's a waste of time and money. Your conditioner, the conditioning treatment, which makes your regular conditioner deep, penetrating, moisturizing, because it's actually penetrating. But putting it on top, rinsing it off at the bowl, if you're going to the shop or if you're seeing your stylist, she's doing it that way every time. It doesn't take the time, and you're not doing it. You need to take some time under the dryer, making sure you're getting conditioners, and also making sure she's using the right product. How about that? We need to find out what she's using to make sure it has moisturizers in it, or again, it's a waste of time and money. Yeah, we don't want to waste any money. All right, so am I moving too fast? Let's get to reconstructing conditioners. It's breaking, it's shedding. Ooh, I need to put a reconstructor on your hair because it's breaking, I need to do that. How many times have y'all heard that? All right, so reconstructors are pure protein. Some of them are keratin and protein based. I don't want to get too deep, but the hair is made up of keratin and protein, biotin and silica, okay? So most of the time you'll hear, use this keratin treatment and it'll help you out, or use this protein and help you out. Protein crystallizes on the cuticle, on the hair strand. You want to make sure that after you use the treatment, if it's necessary, and I'll tell you when it's necessary, that you shampoo and condition with what kind of shampoo? Everybody not Thank you. I told y'all this is interactive. I need to see that y'all take this home and use it. Eat this meat, eat this meat. Moisturize the shampoo after your protein conditioner, and then you have to go under the dryer with your conditioner for how long? 15. Right, so the protein is going to work if and when the hair starts shedding at the very beginning. Right at the very beginning. The breakage, you're combing in the sink, you see some on the sink, that's when we start to use protein. If some hair has already broken, it's already over. It's already been split on going up the shaft, it's over. So don't even pay the extra money for that because we don't have time to waste on money, right? We're wasting our money on that. If at the beginning, that's when you mention something to the stylist and make sure she follows those 2 steps. Got it? I do. Some people may find it hard, but I wash my hair every day. You know, we've been also told that, you can't wash your hair. Most of us stop washing because we want to preserve that look and save that money for 2 weeks. You know, but if I work construction and I have dirt in my hair, I need to wash it. Stop that. Stop that. Wash it as soon as you can. To answer the question directly, every time, if you can get it every time, do it every time. It's like exfoliating your skin. If you can get in the shower, you got to scrub in the shower, use it every time. same result. Make sense? Every time, if you can, take an extra 15 minutes to treat your hair because you've been flat ironing it and braiding it and doing all the wrong stuff. Okay? So if you can do it every time and you got time to do it every time. If it's in condition, I'm okay, do it once a week. If it's not, if it feels dry to the touch, and a lot of you probably don't know what dry feels like. It's not supposed to feel hard to the touch. It's not supposed to feel coarse to the touch when your hair is shampooed and conditioned and blow dried. And even in blow drying, it still should have a soft feel to it. If it's hard, then the relaxer is probably over processed. Got it? The same thing. And we were talking about whether or not we use certain type of products for natural hair. I base products on what the need and the condition of the hair is, not what because, you know, Miss Jessie said I should use. So I'm going to teach you guys how to read labels and then have you test that way. Got it? Give me one more. Anybody got one more? Yes? No? Yes.
So what's the difference between a hot oil treatment and a conditioner's set up on the dry?
I do both. I do conditioning and hot oil treatment. It's just another ingredient, a glycerin-based ingredient that goes in and deposits to help the moisture level and to sustain it. The one that was my favorite was Designer's Touch. They took it off the market because of packaging, but it was awesome, awesome. Self-heating. I had all of my clients and everybody I know using it. If you find any, just buy them up for me and just send them to the shop and I'll pay you back. But if you get a hold of it, they said they were considering, I called Designer's Touch. They said they were considering repackaging it. It's something you can use in the shower temporarily. You wash your hair in the shower, you put it on, you feel it heat up on the scalp. It's water activated. I loved it. It opened the cuticle just enough to grab what was needed. But I usually mix the two. You have to make sure you get a hot oil that rinses clearly and cleanly, not that will leave a buildup on the hair. Designer's Touch did that. I haven't found one that's comparable yet. You can't use the macadamia oils and all of those because they'll be a little bit too heavy. So I recommend just staying with a liquid leave-in during the conditioning process, and email me and I'll let you know a list of them to have her sample and try. I need extra attention for the color girls. We will have to use a hot oil treatment for that. It needs to be extra. The process of relaxer and color, just think of every step that you do to your hair. I'm relaxing, I'm coloring it, I'm flat ironing, I'm doing everything you do more is the more conditioner, the more type of conditioning you need. And that should be assessed by the stylist to know what you need to have and what you don't need to have. And if she does not tell you, email me. And don't go and say, well, Lisa said, especially if you got you. It's just between you and me. It's between you and me. Just, take it to her, tell her to try this, tell her to try that. We'll touch bases on it. I can't give you my honest assessment because each girl's hair is different until I feel it and analyze it. Until then, I can't say what works generic across the board. Of all the product companies I've taught for pound ingredients, Caracare is the best one on the market by the company called Affirm. It beats Mazzani, it beats everybody. Caracare is the best. Have your stylist let you get it for you wholesale so you can have it in the house. Okay. If she can, I will call me. I'm gonna move on because in 10 minutes we have our nutritionist coming up that's gonna talk for a minute. I really do view hair loss as an epidemic now. My first year I had over 300 customers, not advertised for, just referred, of women who came who had a variety of types of hair loss. If you looked on my site, and I'm sorry my slideshow doesn't work and it's the waterfall. That looks like Jamaica. That looks like Dunn's River Falls. But anyway, I got distracted. It's a lot of clients that came who had a variety from thinning, trauma, traction alopecia, stress. There's a lot of reasons. I'm going to have both of them talk a little bit more about it, and then we'll follow up. As soon as you start to notice it, get it analyzed by a professional or by a trichologist or someone who knows the first signs of thinning. My youngest, without cancer and alopecia, is 8. 4th grade would make her 8, 9? 9. I think she's 9 now. The youngest, her mom started doing braid extensions, like what she's wearing, at 4. And you have 2? That's 2 years old? Oh, this is Dr. Carter. Y'all say hi, Dr. Carter. She's our dermatologist. It's the unfortunate thing And we gotta talk about braids, extensions, and weaves. When traction alopecia happens, depending on how soon it's caught, we probably can help it to come back. If not, then it's over. It's over. What happens is your braid starts moving into different areas and grabbing more hair, and a 16-inch extension can't hang on to something that's small in diameter. And when she loses that hair, it moves on. That's why it starts to look more and more sparse. We're telling you just what we see every day. I'm a proponent against braid extensions. Weaves too tight. You should not have to get a sew-in and take Advil 2 days before and Advil 2 days after. It doesn't have to be tight to stay in. I mean, it just doesn't. So now I'm forced to fix the hair loss for that reason and create these pieces for that reason. Not that I'm again, in the 70s when we did our own natural hair, we could braid it. It wasn't too tight, we could take it down, we were okay. It's just adding the additional and putting the stress on it. You can ask Tamar Braxton, Susan Taylor, Naomi Campbell. Do I need to keep going on with the list? I don't want to mention no Dallas folks, they'll get me, but it's been gospel. When it's gone, it's gone. And the only thing that's left is replacement. So make sure that if you see anyone you know with the extensions, we need to talk about it and how they're put in and applied. There's different techniques now. A lot of people are still doing it the old-fashioned way. We say it's so 2008. They're doing it the old way. So let's talk about it too. At least I'm thinking about getting a sew-in. This is what she did, or this is what's happening. I'll be the resource, and then I'll advise you on how to talk to your people to make sure that they're doing it the proper way, so you won't be seeing me later. If you come to see me, it's not a good thing. To get some hair loss pieces, and it's over, you know? So I want to talk about it ahead of time. Make sense? It's about the user. It's almost like saying, oh, that perm brought my hair out. It wouldn't be on the market. You know, it's how it's applied, how it's used, when it was used, and who's doing it. If you have someone that's bonding your hair and they're removing it improperly, I'm not a big fan of bond, but if they're removing it improperly, they're pulling it right out from the scalp. You can look on the track and you can see hair, because the way that the glue is, once it cures, your hair that they attached it to gets caught up in there. There is no way that it can't come out when they take it out. So you got to be very, very, very careful. There's, I use baby oil. I use this to get it out. They start to get it out, it'll slide right off, but it still does not mean once that glue starts to cure that it's not coming out. So if we have to do it, I'd rather you do a braid extension, you know, have them braid it to the not tight, do a flat braid, and then have them tack the braid with needle and thread, and then have them sew the weft. The other thing is, if you're wearing them longer, it's best to put, and I'm talking about sewing it to a net base that protects your braid. So the way we do it now, there's net base and different types of bases you put over the braid, and you sew the extension to that instead of direct to the braid. Make sense? So it's real fine. I mean, the people who we know that, they should know that. If they don't, call me and I'll tell you where to go get it and say, put this on instead of put, because what happens too is you've got 18 cornrows. Every time you do that, there's a track that has to go to each cornrow if she does not have a net base. If she has a net base, then she's able to space it how she wants, so it's not so big and bulky. Make sense? Yeah, so I'm not against it. It has everything to do with the user and how it's done and applied.
I don't know if I know how to ask this question right, but that hair that they use for braiding, that's really just plastic, glass hair.
Yes.
And sometimes when they're doing tracks, and people's hair is thin, they braid that hair into it.
Yeah.
Does that hair affect breakage because?
That's a good question. I know exactly what you're asking. You don't have enough hair to get a sew-in, so they go and add some hair to it, right? No different than doing a braid extension with the right texture of hair. And I'm gonna try to do this quickly because I have 2 minutes. And then I'll come back to it if I need to, okay? And you need to understand what's sold in a beauty supply. And that's a whole conversation with us. So today is official Margarita Day. Maybe we should do this separate. The hair that's in the beauty supply typically be used for braids back in the day. Janet Jackson wore dookie braids, Kanekalon. All of those are synthetic fibers. Know that synthetic fibers strangle your natural hair. When I say strangle, I mean every bit of moisture that we don't naturally secrete is going to take it from that. That's why when you used to take your braids down, it was extremely dry. And a lot was shedding. It sheds normally 80 to 100 strands a day. But you had a lot more when you took your braids down because you messed around and listened to somebody who said you could leave them up for 3 months. Stop that. Stop that. That's not anything you don't give time and attention to does not do well. Don't give no time to your boyfriend and see what happens. And you really really think you can braid your hair and leave it up for 3 months?